Hey friend, welcome to Soulvine. This is Jamie. I'm just clearing your energy. So if you just want to close your eyes and just take a breath in and out and just clearing that space for you. All right. Oh, okay. You're just hearing me blow all the ashes away, all the dead weight. Okay, so this is for our Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm Jamie, if we haven't met, and hello to our friends here. Let's connect in. Let's see what Spirit wants you to know and how we can best support your journey for our wonderful Pisces. I'm just going to pull out some cards and let's see what Spirit wants you to know. So let's take a peek at the current energies. Thank you. Current energies for our wonderful Pisces. Current energies for our Pisces. Okay. We've got Eight of Wands and the Hierophant. Let's see what's challenging this. We've got the Ace of Wands. Okay. We've got the High Priestess sitting in the influential energy, and the past impacting right now is the Queen of Wands. We've got the Page of Swords sitting in the Headspace. We'll dive into this, Pisces, and I'll share what this is more about. Near future, we've got the Star energy and the Creator. Wow, they're just flying out. Your power in this situation is the Ace of Pentacles and the Five of Cups. Let's see what is going on around you. We've got some Sun energy. Let's take that. And the Two of Wands. I like that a lot. Hopes and fears. Thank you, Spirit. Death energy. And potential outcome. We've got the Three of Wands and we've got another card, and I'll see what that is at the end. Okay, so right now, Pisces, if we get straight into it, we do have the Eight of Wands energy sitting with the Hierophant. Now, when we connect into this, this is about something moving forward, something connecting in, some conversation, some drive and motivation here around a commitment or around moving towards something at a higher level, okay, with this Hierophant energy. It seems like this is... for some of you, if you're making a move towards something, I feel like this is a wise move, okay? This is movement. This is, wisdom, spirituality. The Hierophant is, kind of this priest energy. So, yeah, I'm taking that whatever this is a wise movement forward, okay? I feel like this is something that it feels confident and it feels solid and strong, whatever this is. And it's creating the change that you're seeking as well. The Hierophant is number 5. 5 is change. So again, I feel like there's some higher level of agreement, higher level of commitment, higher level of movement that is very important here. And what's challenging this, just to remember that a challenge doesn't need to be problematic. A challenge, though, in addition, with this Ace of Wands, is saying that there's something, it's new, and for some people change can be difficult, can be a bit uncomfortable, which can be quite natural. And I feel like here, whatever this is, there could be some change, some movement in work or home, or having to travel. Some form of travel could be involved in terms of whatever this is that's moving forward. Eight of Wands is also, travel energy. So there's some good news here on an opportunity. I don't know, again, if some of you are looking to move into a new place, waiting for, for an application to come through or something of that nature, but it feels quite positive. And again, I've got this wise or this wisdom energy connecting with this at the moment. So I do like that. In terms of influencing it, this is the High Priestess. So something that you don't know, or something that you've been wanting to know, something that you've been feeling a niggle for or a nudge for. I'm getting again the energy, which I think was similar to over the weekend, is like something that's hidden is going to come out, okay? Yeah, it's like there's confirmation here. Confirmation of what maybe something that you knew or something that you felt. And interesting, it's got the word wisdom. So yeah, I feel like there's something that you're on, Pisces, and I feel a step before this, though, there was some sense of disappointment around a situation. But in saying that, there's a different understanding, or a different way this situation or your life or this chapter and season has evolved. It's an interesting one, but I feel like there's been a sense of disappointment, and sometimes it could be the way that we're thinking about things or the way that we're seeing things, because I do feel like you've been thinking really hard about something here, because my head is hurting in thought, like a lot of thought, a lot of thinking on something. You know, maybe this was a big decision for you, or the desire was really strong, or has been quite strong for you, and but you maybe had to do a lot of planning, a lot of thinking, and a lot of, you know, what if something goes this way or something goes that way, what could this potentially be? We do have the Queen of Wands sitting here in the past, so this could be aligned to your goals, to your ambition, to what drives you, what motivates you, what makes you feel successful. I think again, this could have been sometime in the making. Maybe, you know, too, that some of you are could even be starting a business, or starting, and I'm just getting that from a little bit of over here energy. You could be coming into your own in terms of something. Maybe you, again, choosing to level up here is something that's very significant, or showing, again, whether it's relationship, whether it's some form of work that you want to do, or again, a change of direction. It's to level up wherever you are in your life, or what's important to you right now. So again, it doesn't need to be this big grand thing, but that is a major step forward, whatever this is. And it, you know, it's something that adds significant life and energy into your world right now. In terms of the headspace sitting here, it is the Page of Swords. So there could be some concern here if, you know, just looking at the finer details when it's the Page of Swords. I think sometimes too, especially if you connect into an energy of, you know, sometimes when, and this is an interesting contradiction, but the energy that's coming through is, you know, when sometimes you're quite skilled at something, you know something very well, you just do it quickly, you just know it, but you also know the areas that there can be gaps, or areas that, you know, may not have the I's dotted and the T's crossed very well. And then sometimes when you get to a younger energy, sometimes it naturally, and I'm saying younger energy in terms of thinking, okay, not necessarily a younger person, maybe it could be for some of you, but there's something about an energy where there may not be like certain familiarity, or you want to be extra cautious in the approach, or in the direction, or how something is unfolded, or looked at, or signed, or looked over, is what this feels like. But there's a difference between having experience and trusting, you know, oh, they're taking care of it, you're not too concerned. But this, for some reason, just feels a little extra importance. Like you want to look a little bit deeper, you want to look over some more details. Maybe some of you do have some family member or someone close to you. This could be yourself. Maybe some of you are looking at signing contracts, getting into some form of study. As part of that study, you know, there's fees involved. I'm seeing like papers, you got to look at the finer details, you got to look at the numbers, something of that nature that's really relevant here about something. And maybe for someone here, even though you're skilled, even though there's intelligence and understanding around it, this seems like it's something different or something new. So you're looking over it in a bit more detail, or being asked to anyway. Okay, I'm not concerned about it. I think it's just being more particular, more cautious, because this, again, as I said, it's something major. While it may not, you know, be the grandest thing in the world for some of you, it does feel like it's something particular, something valuable, something important. Okay, in terms of the near future, you do have the star energy and the creator energy. Now, this is interesting because there seems to be some worry here about something not working out. Okay, the creator energy, this again, there's some contrasting energy that's showing up here. In terms of the energy and what's coming through that with the downloads, it seems like here, again, something didn't work out or something didn't go to plan, but you have this strong belief that it will. I think, you know, maybe there was something that kicked off or started and didn't go as expected. And the creator energy is a beautiful force, because what it is something that, you know, when you you know, maybe for a new relationship, a new job, a new home, sometimes at first, or even, you know, when you go on a holiday, sometimes at first there could be that one little thing in the beginning that just kind of like, I don't want this to bomb it or break it, or this be a major problem. But sometimes you need to, when the dust settles and it shows you, you know, in a different light or a different something, it's like, oh God, you know, and you got to pay attention to it. You've got to address it. But it's like once you clear that, it allows a redirect. There just needs to be a little bit different construction or construct, or yeah, it's like something needs to just shift a little bit. You know, it could be even as something as simple as that you've put, you know, a TV in a room in a certain place, and you're like, you know what, I don't know if I like the layout of this room anymore, and I'm going to shift it around. Again, that's something very simple, but this seems to be the desire of, even if something hasn't worked out, that it's the knowing and the trusting that something better is or has come along. And you know, whatever that outcome or output is, it, again, there's some wisdom and goodness in this, whatever it is. But I feel either which way, something either needed to be shifted or has shifted, and it's for the betterment of where you're going, Pisces. Yeah, because look at this exactly here. You've got the Ace of Pentacles and the Five of Cups sitting here in your power position. So there's this new beginning that's here. You do have the Ace of Wands. So there is change, but with this change comes stability, perhaps comes a new offer, comes, you know, something here that gives you a way of moving forward. But with that, I feel, you know, to have the Five of Cups here, there is something that you've missed, I think, and it's like that creator energy is what it feels like, where when there's been a miss in something, when there's been a disappointment in something, when there's been a real challenge that's had to make you look at life or look at circumstance or look at situation, it does something different to us as humans. One from a survival perspective, one from a healing perspective, but one as well, I think you get to a point of, you know, where life redirects you, and it directs you on purpose. And I feel like for some of you that there has been that creative energy, or that energy that allows you to produce, but you wouldn't have been able to do it in you know, I know that sounds strange, but like, you think of musicians, right? They know how to create, and sometimes their best music is when they've been going through the hardest time. Okay, or the, you know, the energy, the way that they can output, it's like they get to move energy in a different way. And I feel like this is what this is about. Something that perhaps didn't work out, something where you felt left behind, something that, you know, you were really happy about, felt connected to, perhaps didn't go the right way. But I just feel like I kind of just got this hug around you. I don't know if you have or had a friend, had a figure. It's like I'm seeing a woman, and where someone comes up and kind of grabs you like a hug, but it's kind of around your neck, around your shoulders kind of bit, and they pull you close, and it's kind of like, I got you girl, or I've got you kid, or I've got you. And that's what it feels like. It's kind of like that reassurance of, I know it's been tough, but you got this. And again, I'm just, yeah, it's like I was seeing you in someone here in kid form, you know, but it looks like a masculine energy, or a male connecting and cuddling a younger woman. But it's kind of more like a kiddo energy is what it feels like. So I just get a sense here for some of you, and again, I don't know where this is taking me. Wow. I don't know if some of you have had some like a masculine figure pass if you're a feminine. But yeah, I feel like, again, there's just this confirmation or some message for someone where it's just, again, I've got you, kiddo. It's like they can see you perhaps doing it tough. I see someone here with like a light, like mousy blonde hair, but like, yeah, and sometimes maybe you tie it back, but yeah, there's some sun-kissed energy as well around it, you know. So to me, that's like, there's some sunshine around this. But I just, if whoever's needed that reassurance from someone perhaps who's passed, maybe who've been going through a hard time from a sense of loss, and the loss could come in different ways, but there just seems like it's okay. And wherever you're going next, again, I feel like, again, I just keep getting this you're okay energy. But a lot of you could be in a pretty significant transition. Like I said, something's coming up to a higher level of commitment, or maybe that's the time now as you feel like this is the time for me to go in a certain direction. But that, for some reason that wanted to come out. This is letting you know this is your power in the situation. You know, sometimes we do need those moments in time to reconnect, realign, create, and become into who we're meant to become. And sometimes we have to just go through that journey to awaken us or to open us in new ways. In saying that, what's going on around you? The Sun and the Two of Wands. So there's either a couple of things happening here, Pisces, okay? Two things. A beautiful opportunity to move forward in partnership, in connection, on plans, whether, business. But I think it's also going to highlight where things haven't been moving and where things need to start moving forward. But it's the plans that maybe have been on hold, the plans that where things haven't been moving forward. This is like, again, the energy kick that's needed to go. Okay, so something very strongly is kind of saying this is meant for you, this is the path, this is the direction, and it's going to become clearer. It's like, again, the energy is opening up, it's kicking forward, and it's asking you to, to be a part of it. Invite yourself on the journey, because as much as you can see it, you got to invite yourself. It's like you've got to, the inner spirit, the energy, it wants to pull you along, but you've got to be able to want to participate. So if you've been feeling a bit stuck, this is the time to go, or you're going to get that confirmation to go, because the offer is going to come in. But I think, even if something doesn't work out at first, it's like something else is presenting itself. Okay, so I just want to let you know of that. There's another way round, or you've had to go another way round. I guess it's kind of like Google Maps, right? Like you can put a destination in from where you are, and it could give you 3 different paths to get there. And sometimes the time you leave, the way you go, all those things have sometimes significant meaning, So there's something about that that's relevant here. Because in your hopes and fears, you've got the death energy, Scorpio energy, so September. I don't know why September is coming through. There's something about September may be relevant. What month are we in now? June, July, August, September. So after summer, through summer, sun for those that are in Northern Hemisphere. Whatever this is happening right now, and obviously as I was talking about Scorpio energy, there's something that, I just feel like there's something that wants to come alive. And sitting in your hopes and fears, it's like there is something that you really want to, that you classify in your life, that you want to change, clear out. That's what it feels like. This is not about loss, this is about clearing. And maybe September is the month where you find that thing is cleared. You've got a lot of good news showing up, that's for sure. Look at this. So in terms of the outcome, you have the 3 of Wands, okay? You do have the 2 of Wands here. Let's see what's showing up with this 3 of Wands, the Hermit energy, okay? So for the Hermit energy to show up with the Three of Wands, this is kind of saying here, Pisces, you get the clarity, you feel the direction, you feel that pull forward, and something shifts. The beauty around when there's change, or when there's acceleration, when there's opportunity, because that's what this is about: change, opportunity, leveling up, scaling up, committing to something, going that direction full force. It's like, this is it, this is where we're going, this is what we're building on. There's trust, there's faith here. You know, if something doesn't work out, we can figure it out kind of energy. This is about moving forward in plans. It's about wiping the slate clean on something particular. I don't know what that particular is. That's going to be unique to you. But I feel like this is about the next shot, the next path. Because the Hermit energy is a step at a time. There's self-reflection as you're going on this path and journey. It's very grounded energy. It's Virgo energy, okay? But it's the plans and the details and following that step, dot, 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 dot. So I feel... sometimes, the only thing sometimes, for those who do, you know, have strong Virgo energy, okay, and I'm just going to mention this, is that not everything has to be exactly ticked on a spreadsheet that looks exactly how it must go, okay? I think there's asking for flexibility here in the plans, in the direction, but the most important thing is going forward, moving forward, and allowing that, okay, on this journey, on this adventure, on the things that you're doing, it's okay to take a step back, look, light up the path, redirect. Okay, let's keep going, you know. I think it's good having a plan. I think it's great, you know, knowing what you're doing next, or what's going on there. But there's something about the outcome here that's just asking you to acknowledge the little nuances, or the little messages that come up in the process, because I feel like it's allowing you to look at something that needs to be looked at, so you can create that foundation as you're moving forward, as you're making those plans. For some of you, you know, I feel for some of you it can be challenging, I feel, who are, I'll say, you know, doing things quite solo or alone, or maybe you're at a point in your life where you're feeling like you want to spend a little bit more time on your own plans and your own direction. And it's not being selfish. I think there's just a little bit of different energy in it, and maybe this path where you're going next, there's a lot more of self-reflection, because sometimes when we do spend a lot of time on our own, or on where there's no noise, where there's nothing else around, it's just us and our plans, right? There's some reflection on that, and I think there could be something too here that comes up, that you get to look at, you know what, I've succeeded, I've done great things, and here I am, and I've got this fresh start. But maybe that picture doesn't look exactly what you thought it would look like. But at the same time, it's giving you space to create it the way that you want now, with what is versus what was or what had been, which can look very different. I mean, goodness me, some days I go, hang on, I don't think this was the plan. But, you know, there's so much more, I think, out there in terms of what's possible, what you can create. So what space is life giving you right now? What space is the universe giving you right now to reflect on that, to look at your plans, to move forward, to do something with? Because you're being asked to do something here. There's a lot of action-oriented energy. There's a lot of action of, come on, okay, let's go. Let's sign that dotted line. Let's take that leap. Let's go after it. It's like you've been gifted, Pisces, and things are changing. And sometimes with that change, there is a sense of leaving things behind, or maybe there's a revisit of some old memories or old feelings around something. But you're good here, you know, you're really good here. And I think it's important to trust that part of you. Let's get you some final messages with the door energy. The doors usually have something pretty cool here. So we've got the third eye raven showing up here, which is saying As sunrise hits upon the dew, a messenger raven calls out with the news. Prepare for the unexpected. Yeah. So something just, I feel like something drops here, drops in your hand, drops in your lap, drops some news. As sunrise hits upon the dew, a messenger raven calls out with the news. And I'm going to let you know too, in addition to that, if it's not an actual physical message like someone contacting you, some news that comes in, this could be a download, because sometimes, you know, subject to how you wake up, if you're a person that wakes up around sunrise, for example, and you're in that energy of kind of awake asleep, that's when we can have some massive, massive downloads. So that could also be relevant for you. This is the other card, door, that you got. That's an interesting one, right? A little darkness and a little light. Let's see what this one's called. Change beacons. Okay, so this one says, the path is shifting, the road leads a new way. Do not be alarmed, a change beacons today. Do you notice, guys? Just saying that the stuff we talk about here, they seem to come out in these cards, right? They kind of reaffirm the message or a note that was very particular, important. So that's what I said. There is some change that maybe, again, something wasn't exactly you had planned, or something didn't work out at first, but there's something else, and that's what I like. There's something else. There's another way. There's another opportunity. You know, maybe the beginning that you were hoping for wasn't exactly it, but it's because it wants to take you somewhere else. And I feel that's what's going to fire up this other path or this other journey, you know. And that change is something quite expansive. And I think you don't have to have all the answers in one go. You don't have to take every step in one go. You can have your spreadsheet, but it's just one step at a time. You know what I mean? And I feel like be okay in that. But I think the important part is keep on moving forward. This is definitely not a time to sit still. This is definitely not a time to, you know, sit and in any wallowing energy. If, you know, I know times get tough, take your hour, take your day, take your overnight, but the next day it's like pick yourself up again, do what you've got to do, because through that is where you will expand. Through that is where your heart will open. Through that is where the healing really comes. Through the action of, and I feel like, yeah, that's what you're being asked for here right now, Pisces. I'm going to leave it there. Long one today. Much love, and I'll catch you later. Bye.